Welcome to Sunday Night SIP Party. S.I.P stands for Stamp, Ink, and Paper. Hello, my name is Michelle Carlson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Eagan, Minnesota. I'll be posting weekly videos to showcase a stamp set from either the 2022 Mini January to June catalog or 2021-2022 annual catalog from Stampin' Up! These projects are designed for the beginner and casual paper crafter in mind. I'll be making easy, simple projects that you can use any stamp set, ink, and paper colors to create your own projects. Today I'll be using the Flowers of Friendship bundle, which includes a stamp set and punch, which we will be using today on our project. I will also be using the Bryce Collection Designer Series paper. The stamp set we're using today is the Flowers of Friendship, which has mostly thank you sentiments. This is a 10-piece stamp set, which is the cling type stamp set, which is the rubber type stamp set. This is located in the annual catalog, 2021-22 annual catalog on page 28. And if you get the punch and the stamp set, you save 10% on the bundle, so it's a total of $35. The Bryce Collection Designer Series paper is located in the 2021-2022 annual catalog on page 134. There are 4 different patterns to choose from, and we will be using this plaid pattern today on our card. Now it's time to make the project. We will be using the technique called paper piecing. And what you need to do, and I'll show you each step of the way, but this is our card that we're going to be making today. And you just stamp the images on your designer series paper so you get this very fun pattern on your flowers and on your leaves, which I'll show you on this DSP on how to use that, on how to do that. The basic pieces that we need is your card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, with the thick basic white cardstock. And I like thick basic white as it's a little bit heavier and it is good for card bases. Then I have basic black, and the size for this is 4 1/4 by 2 3/4, and the white piece is 4 by 2.5, and this is where we'll stamp and then add our paper pieces onto it. The first thing we're going to do is stamp up our flowered image in Memento Tuxedo black ink, and this is your basic black ink that we use. There's also StazOn ink, but that is used for watercoloring projects. So just make sure your stem is solid, but then also we need to know where to put the paper after we punch it out. So make sure things are solid. Yep. And that's okay if it's a little bit lighter, because that'll be the leaves anyway, because we'll be putting paper over it. But just so we know where to put the paper pieces is what we need to do. So when you do paper piercing and using a punch, look on the back side of how the punch or the leaves or whatever image is lining up. So in this case, when you stamp, this is the larger leaf. When we put in your card base, we want to make sure our leaves on the large side is on this side, so you're not putting this all the way in and then wasting all this paper. So with the large leaf, we're going to stamp 2 on the left side of the paper. And also make sure your leaf is faced the same way as the way you're going to punch. Okay, and then the smaller leaf is going to be on this side, match up how it's going to be punched out. So it's going like this. Press that down. Okay, and this will make sense so that so you don't waste waste too much of your designer series paper. We'll just let that dry for a minute. I could have probably done a smaller strip, but I just wanted to make sure that you could see what I'm doing. So here we're going to stamp this one first. So with a small leaf, line that up, and you're going, not stamp, but punch it out. And then do the next one. So as you can see, you're cutting over the stuff you've already punched out instead of any new anything that you could be using to stamp images. And then just throw all these papers that are getting punched out. So here's like a nice piece of designer series paper that you don't want punched out, but you want, so that's why we line it up and make sure we don't waste so much paper. All right, can't see with the, all right, I think that's good. Yep, and then just line up so the stamped image is within the punch of where you're going to punch it out, like that. And then you can use that for another leaf if you need to. Now we're going to punch out just one flower. I know I stamped a bunch of flowers on these, but I'll use them at a later time. But all you need is one of each color. Line it up and punch out, just in case you need any extras that if you don't punch it out correctly, you have others to punch out. And there's a large flower and a small flower, and I'm using the large size flower on these. And there we have our 3 flowers. Once you have your flowers punched out, we're going to get a sharp scissors, and we're going to take each petal and just go down to that circle and go around and then go through the next petal. So we're just cutting out those petals individually. So again, just go around that circle, then come out in between the petals. So it doesn't take very long for this one to cut out. And then just cut the last one around the circle. And you don't need this circle piece, so that can just be garbage. Also, if some of these, depending on how you punch, might be thicker in some places, you can just trim around it. Like in this, I would probably trim a little bit more, so we can do that here, because I didn't get my punching very straight on this one. So with this, you can kind of trim around so it's a little bit closer to the black, but leave a little edge around it. Don't cut right up to the black line. Okay. So I'll finish these and we'll come back. Now we have all of our flowers petals cut out, and we only need 3, but I like to have options in case one, 3 look better than another one. So what we need to do, so like this one has a little edge on it, so I'm just going to smooth that out. But let's say I don't want to see all that. I just want this little part. So we're going to hide that anyway as we're going to paste these on. So, and maybe I like this edge better on this side. And as we'll be seeing that edge and not the other side. And then I think I like this one And again, there's a little edge sticking out, but if we cut that off and put that on top, you have a nice flower, and it can be out a little bit too. It doesn't have to stay within the lines. It's just as long as the other lines are covered up. Okay, kind of like that. Also, make sure you get down to the dot of the flower, you know, the end piece or the starting of the stem. Okay, so once it's glued down, so let's just glue this down and so I can show you, and then I will finish later. So in this case, I would probably do a multi-purpose glue, but just be very careful and just lightly dab. So I think, let's see how, if I can put it on the same way. Let's see here. So one little dab here. Okay. And then this is where take your pick tool and get that putty up. It can help you pick it up a lot easier, so that you don't get your fingers all full of glue. There we go. And then, let's see, I think this one, it doesn't really matter. It's, you know, just whatever you feel would look. Okay, got glue on my work surface. Okay. And then just put that one over there. And then just make sure your middle piece is going to go down to that center, or that start of that stem. So, oops. There we go. So you can see the overlapping of the other. It'll take a little while to glue on. I'm not used to doing multi-purpose glue, but there. And then with the leaves, let's put a small and a big, large leaf. So again, just take a little bit of glue. Spread that out a little bit. There we go. And here, pick that up. And as you can see, these are the small leaf up right here. And then the large leaf is down below. So I'm not going to do everything, but at least you get the idea and the concept. So I'll finish this up and then we'll finish our card. So here's everything was put together. And as you can see, there's a little bit of white that the middle didn't come down. So this is a basic black marker, Stampin' Write marker. I'm just going to fill that in, just so it looks like it's part of the stem, but it's just going to be a bigger stem than it was before. I think I'll just fill a little bit in there and there. So there's always ways to fix things. So the next thing we're going to do is adhere our white onto the black. And just center that onto the black piece. As you can see, I didn't use a sentiment, but you can totally do that. You could put a little hello there. You might want to do that before you put it on. And then we're going to dimensional this up. So with taking our dimensionals, you're just going to, I just put one in each corner and then one in the middle. There we go. Because we're going to be using those black matte dots, you don't want to have too many dimensions, because then this will be harder to mail in the if you're going to mail it, because they'll be sticking up too much. So this way they'll be pressed down and will be easier to mail and it won't be as bulky. So just center that on your card base. And then I'm going to finish it off with the black matte dots. Now I don't have too many left, so I think that's why I used all these bigger. I think I'm going to use this side. I like to use the pokey side. Sometimes either the pokey or the putty side, you know, to get these rhinestones off. So I think I'm going to, I'll just do what I did before here. But they have different sizes. They have small, I'm not sure if they have medium, but large. I think they have small, medium, and large, but as you can see, I've used a lot of these, and I think I'll just put a small one here. I don't have any other projects to show you, but just keep in mind when you do paper piecing that the stamp is outline stamps versus detailed stamps. You will find the measurements and product lists on my website, michellesstamping.com, and click on S.I.P. Party. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be yours and help you with any paper crafting supplies you may need. If you'd like a catalog, please email me at michellesstamping@gmail.com. All of these links are below under the video for your convenience. Also, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so that you are notified when I post a new video. Also, please comment in YouTube underneath my video or on my Facebook group, Michelle Stampers, by Friday, March 18th, and you will be placed in a drawing, and I will announce the winner in my March 20th video, and you'll receive a package of matte black dots that I used on my cards today. Before I go, I need to announce the winners for the weeks of February 6th, 13th, and 20th. This will be easy, as I only received one comment for each of those videos from Carla Wolber. Congratulations! You'll receive the Daffodil Afternoon Designer Series paper, Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper, and the Rhinestone Basic Jewels. Since I just posted the video for February 27th, please comment by Thursday, March 10th to be placed in the drawing, and I will announce the winner in my next video, March 13th, to win this Flowering Fields Designer Series paper. I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you make a card, please feel free to add it to the comments underneath this video. I would love to see your cards and what stamp set and paper you used. Thank you for watching, and happy stamping!